Welcome, Maya, to the podcast Zenith Opera.
Oh, cool. Nice title. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. In this podcast, we explore the different aspects of what it means to being an opera singer or an artist, the magic of performances, but also the struggles and everything in between.
Okay.
And I wanted to invite you today because I feel that you see the entire, let's say, rainbow or the entire scope.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Of what it means to be an opera singer, and also from the other side of being working with casting directors and professionals, and you are a conductor and a composer yourself. So maybe I haven't introduced you yet. Maybe I should. Maya Barsacq, a composer, a conductor, an opera singer. You are, I would like to call you a music entrepreneur because you have so many initiatives, the Zenith Opera Competition, and all the workshops that you organize. And I would like to talk about everything today.
Ooh, wow. That's very ambitious. I'm going to try and answer as best I can.
But let's start with your journey as an artist.
Ooh, let's see. So I actually studied science.
Wow.
And I kind of decided that my passion is music. And so I decided to do like a big switch and dedicate my life to music. I didn't quite know what that meant. I've always had music in my life. I've played the piano since I was a kid, but singing was really what talked to me. I've played many instruments, but for some reason there was a really strong connection with singing. And so I started late, my early 20s, I started taking voice lessons.
Wow.
And quickly, it was really just, I don't know how sometimes, it's like you enter into this funnel or tunnel and it just takes you and you just have to go with it. And so I just started singing. I'm like in semi-professional settings. And then I got really serious about studying and started getting offers to sing in bigger and bigger places and houses. I've only had 4 voice teachers, and they all kind of came from the same school of technique.
And all in the US?
All in the US, yeah. Because of the voice teachers that I had, I was also invited to take workshops with some really important people for my journey, but also I think for other singers. And I think all of these things kind of were the fodder for what it is that I do now, because I realized, that it was a hard journey, but I also had amazing opportunities to come in contact with some very important professionals and people who really wanted to support and help singers develop. And, now that I'm older and I've done my thing, I feel like it's my duty to help. I think it's important to help support people's journey,
That is very unique because the competition that you founded, I feel that it is so different from other competitions in the aspect that you are so approachable. You give feedback to each and every singer who would like to receive one.
First, I want to include my co-director. Yes, I'm the founder of the competition, but I couldn't have done it without her, which is Rebecca Davis. And Rebecca and I go a long ways. I feel like we both, come from a heart space. And I think that's what I love about her and this partnership that we have in this particular endeavor, which is the competition. She's a singer herself. She knows what it's like. It's not an easy journey. And I feel like the feedback is important because I, as a singer, did not get that feedback when I was competing. Or I did hundreds of auditions and you walk out of there and it's like a vacuum. You know what it's like? It's like, okay, so how did it go? And, it's good because you have to learn how to trust your instincts and kind of process, and be kind to yourself as you process. But it's always nice to kind of get somebody to say, okay, so I heard this, and how does that feel? And, maybe looking at this could be, something constructive for you. Not that we have, the perfect feedback, but we try to really, and we're two different people. But interestingly enough, Rebecca and I kind of hear the same things. And, we're very based on technique, but also on performance and how you present yourself and what are some of the things that you could improve on in languages. I think being on the other side now, and also as a conductor, casting and auditioning singers, you notice things that you didn't, or I didn't. I mean, very honestly, I didn't when I was singing, because I was so focused on performing, getting that job, getting the next gig, going to coachings, that my mind wasn't really interested in what was going on the other side, which is unfortunate because, now that I know what I know, I wish I was going again and trying out to sing, because it's like I get this totally different, point of view from how it all kind of works.
So what would you tell to your young singer self that she didn't know that would help her in auditions now?
I think singers today want to please your panel. And I don't think it's about pleasing the panel. I think it's about being you, like knowing you, like, who are you? Like, what do you want to share? Not let me show you what I can do. And I think it's a very different headspace. It's a very different headspace.
Different.
What?
Very different.
Very different. And a lot of singers is like, let me show you. I can sing this and this and this, and I can do these runs, and I can do la, 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 la. And really, and then they hide behind the technique or behind the acting and so forth. But you don't really get a sense of who this person is, right? But really what interests us is, who are you? Why are you here? Why are you sharing this with me? Why are you singing this? What are you saying? Because then we get to see who you really are. I mean, casting directors are thinking, okay, can I work with this person? Do they have the skills required? That's like the bottom line, right? But is this person kind of flexible? Do they seem nice? Are they approachable? If you come and you're 25 years old and you can sing well, but you have like a prima donna
attitude,
I think some casting directors are going to say, yeah, maybe not.
Interesting.
Because really it's about knowing if they can work with you, how flexible you are. I think that's what I would say to my younger self. I think I'm a person with a lot of energy. And I think I needed to learn how to focus my energy when I was younger. And now I meditate and I do Tai Chi or Qigong. And these are things I didn't do when I was singing, which I wish I did. I think I had a pretty good sense of self, but it's an ongoing journey. And I think singers who are really able to just show who they are, with the good things and the bad things, because we're all a work in progress, are much more interesting. I mean, it's not just opening up your mouth and having a beautiful voice today. I mean, that's the reality of it. What amazes me is the pool of talent out there. I mean, every year it's become more and more challenging. As you know, this year we had, recognition awards because we just couldn't fit everyone. And there's a lot of talent. But the reality is there's nobody like you, Shiri. There's nobody like you out there. Everybody is special. What differentiates one from another, I think, is just people really being in touch with themselves, knowing what they're capable of doing, what they can offer, and putting yourself out there and not apologizing for who you are. I think that's what I would say to myself, the younger self of me. Like, don't apologize for who you are. Go out there, do it, have fun, and share, what you have here, that makes you special.
This is very empowering.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So what made you make the decision to become a conductor, to leave the opera world as a singer and make the transition to be a conductor?
In my early 30s, I was singing in a production of Traviata, and the conductor asked me if I could conduct the banda on the nights that I wasn't performing. And I was like, wow, that's kind of an interesting request. And so that was my first conducting. I was Anina. It's a small role. I can totally do the banda. And I actually was like curious about this. And then in the next production, it was double cast. I was singing Despina. The conductor asked me if I could actually prompt my colleagues, because she realized, it was a woman conductor, that I knew everybody's part. And so I'm like, okay.
Wow.
And so I told my voice teacher at the time, and she's like, Maya, there's something wrong with you.
Something wrong.
Most singers are very preoccupied with their own parts. They don't know other. And so that began the journey of kind of looking into conducting. And it took me several years to convince myself that it was the right fit. I wasn't quite sure, because I loved singing. But when I decided to become more serious about conducting or becoming a conductor, I had to kind of let go of singing. I guess, that's another thing I would share that I think is important, is to be curious, because music is an endless journey. For me, it's probably going to be till I die. It's just, I'm constantly studying. It's just like, I'm amazed at all the wonderful things that are out there, And I think part of the conducting thing is that I became really curious about what the orchestra does, what other roles do, and I realized that my singing, or the repertoire that I could sing, was very limited. And so I didn't feel as challenged intellectually, maybe, vocally, definitely, because you have to maintain the instrument. Everybody, as you have to be an athlete from all the time, and you have to maintain the instrument, you have to practice, and it's not because you sing one day well that the next day is guaranteed, right? But intellectually, I think my curiosity was like, wow, there's this ginormous world out there of amazing music, and I could dig into it. And I think, that's what prompted me to go in the conducting. And I think it also suits my personality better. I think some people like the big picture or the detailed picture, and I'm kind of like both. And I feel like just being preoccupied with myself was not enough. No, I think I'm always very concerned about others. And I think it has to do with my personality. And I think a good conductor is somebody who's there to help facilitate for others with the guidelines of a composer, whereas as a singer, you're just really concerned with how you navigate and how you navigate in relationship to maybe one or two or an ensemble, but a very different relationship. So I think it has to do with personality. I don't know if it was the right choice, because I left singing right when things were really starting to happen for me, which actually was in my mid-30s.
It's a brave decision when doors are starting to open and then you decide to...
Yeah, but I think I trust my intuition. I think one of the big lessons that I've learned for me. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I know that I do share that when I teach, which is, it's like, it's like deep down, and you have to listen to that voice. I mean, that voice is, I think, the most important and the best friend you will ever have. It's like, I can give you an opinion about what I think about you, Shiri, and you might agree or you might disagree. But at the end of the day, you sit with yourself. And if that rings right with you, then you go with it. And if it doesn't, you don't. And every time I haven't listened to my intuition, I've paid for it. So my lesson for me is that I really try to quiet the mind so I can really hear what my inner voice has to say. And that's what guides me in many of the decisions that I make.
I relate to it so much.
Oh, cool.
So much. Amazing.
Yeah, I think it's an important tool. I think for anyone, no matter what they do, whether you're a singer, whether you're a carpenter, or any being on the planet, I think we have so many inputs that we forget to really stop, take a moment, and really listen to what our gut tells us. Mm-hmm. And I think if everybody did some of it, we'd live in a very different world.
Amen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I came to Barcelona.
Uh-huh. Welcome to Barcelona.
Thank you. To participate in a workshop, mm-hmm. Which will be conducted by Annette Weber, but you organized it.
Yep.
How did you come up with the idea of organizing these workshops for singers?
Oh, I've been doing this now for here in Barcelona, in Berlin for the past 8 years, I think, on and off. I've been teaching for 20 years now. Either being invited to teach master classes or organizing master classes, because I feel that it's important to be in contact with these people. Not just me, I mean, I can offer so much, but, people or colleagues that I feel have something to contribute and contribute in a loving way, in a supportive way. I think this is the key for me, because I feel like people are quick to judge, quick to give, feedback, however you want to call it. And it's not necessarily constructive. It's like, okay, so what do I do with a negative, let's say? And I think there are ways to preface, let's say, maybe a negative feedback, or things to work on. And I feel like, I mean, I hope it's true of everyone that I've picked, but I try to find teams of people that help and challenge singers, because I think you have to be challenged, and open up a space where you're curious enough to go and investigate, because I think as a singer, you spend a lot of time alone investigating what you can and cannot do, what repertoire you can and cannot sing. And it's going to change with time. I mean, your hormones change, your personal life changes. But there are some things that you go back to because they represent who you are technically, emotionally, and what you can present, in an audition setting. And I think having that feedback of people who are in the market right now, who are casting for big houses, is super valuable. Recently, I had David Lomelli, who cast for many houses and consult for many houses, come and do this exact same workshop or same style of workshop, which is, like a career, assessment of sort. Mm-hmm. And one of the singers got a job at La Scala because of that connection. And
that's incredible.
That's
incredible.
It's so great. I'm so happy for her. And she really, she nailed it. And she also nailed it in terms of being open and ready to work. And I think it's so important that you're open to listening and experiment. I think there are some singers that come in and they're like, no, I do it my way or no way. And I think today it's a disservice to you. And I say this with a lot of love and a lot of care. And I've experienced it myself where I was conducting and I had singers say, I don't do it that way. And I'm like, well, can you try? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. And, for me, it's like a side note, I don't want to work with this person again. And it's true of casting directors too. I think flexibility is another really important tool to have. Sometimes it's not easy, but I think trying is always a worth shot. It's definitely, I don't know. So I think I organize these workshops because I feel like it's an opportunity to make a connection. Mm-hmm. I think having a connection with somebody is important because this business is a people's business. It's about knowing people. And seeing where it goes. It might work for you, it might not. But if anything, you've tried.
Mm-hmm. So I recommend all singers out there to visit Così 7.
Thank you.
That's the website for other workshops and also the Zenith Opera Competition because it's an amazing opportunity.
Thank you.
And I think we will wrap it up.
Okay.
I would like to thank you. I brought something small for you.
Oh.
So this is a small gift.
Thank you very much. Do I open it?
You can open it.
Ooh. Simcha. Thank you. It's good to have
happiness.
I was going to say, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
But it's simcha v'chamsa, yes. But simcha, the happiness of having, I guess, I if I had to make a closure, is that being grateful that you have this gift, wherever you are in your journey, and that you've decided to dedicate part of your time to doing music, I think is amazing. I think it's so important. I feel like people who don't enjoy what they're doing should not do it. If it seems like it's so much of a struggle, we're here such a short time. And I was sharing that with one of my students. I was watching Pavarotti sing Rigoletto, and he exudes so much joy while he's singing. Even if he's a villain, right? Or not that nice of a guy. Mm-hmm. He's not. He's a womanizer and he doesn't really care about anybody else. But Pavarotti exudes this joy of singing. And I think that's, I think no matter what you do, enjoy the process. Enjoy this ability to live life through music, which is such an amazing gift. I'm grateful for it every single day. It's like, what an amazing journey. No matter what it takes me. I definitely have had many ups and downs, like anyone. And I still do. But I feel like, wow, I get to do music. Wow. It's so fun.
Yeah. Wow. I'm leaving this podcast super inspired.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And super like, I want to sing now.
Yay. All right.
So Maya, thank you so much for not just for coming here, but for everything that you do for singers and for me as well.
Most welcome. Well, you're very dedicated and you have something. And I think, and Rebecca and I both shared this with you, and that's what we're looking for, and I think because when we see, even if it's just, a glimpse of what could be, we get hooked on it and we want to help as best as we can. We don't have magic wands, But, we really try because we feel like it's important, because more people that have that and grace the stages or grace their students or whatever they do in music, it just spreads. It's just, and especially now in this situation with what is going on in the world, if we have, people who are really excited about sharing what they do, I think is already a lot.
I agree. Thank you very much, Maya.
You're most welcome.
I'll give
Thank
you
you.
Bye.
Ciao.